You're listening to the Online Marketing Made Easy podcast, episode number 77.
Welcome to the Online Marketing Made Easy podcast. Business advice so easy, you'll feel like you're cheating. And now your host, Amy Porterfield.
Well, hey there, Amy Porterfield here, and welcome to another episode of the Online Marketing Made Easy podcast. Thanks so much for being here. Now, at the time of this recording, it's a busy Saturday morning. We have to go furniture shopping because we're starting to do some new things in our house, and my husband and son are dreading every minute of it. I secretly cannot wait to go furniture shopping. It's something I love, something they hate, but I'm dragging them along with me. And so I told my husband, all right, we're getting this over with. I'm secretly going to love it. But before I get there, I've got to do some podcasting. And just yesterday, I got to interview one of my truly best friends. I would call him a best friend, which sounds weird sometimes in the internet marketing world because we all say everyone's friends and introducing one of my greatest friends and you maybe met them once. However, my guest today is someone that I've spent a lot of time with, masterminding, and he's spent time with my family, and he doesn't live too far away, and I really have gotten to know him over the years and just absolutely love him. My guest today is James Wedmore, YouTube and video marketing expert, and he lives so close because he lives in Laguna, and I live in Carlsbad, California, so he's just down the freeway from me, and we get to see each other, we get to spend time with each other, and he just came out with a brand new free video series that I am absolutely obsessed with. It is so good that I thought, you've got to come on my show and we need to talk about video because let me be honest with you. Video is something that I have a love-hate relationship with. I've always said it throughout all the years I've been in business. I love video because it connects with people at an entirely different level. I mean, even more so than podcasts can sometimes because you see the person. You feel like you're kind of in their house with them or behind the scenes with them. And there's this amazing connection you can make with video. I don't love video because sometimes it's a pain in the butt to put together. If I don't hire someone to help me with it, I spend 3 hours trying to get the frame right. And then we've got the whole thing with lighting. Oh, don't even get me started with lighting and the tripod and the space behind me. What does it look like? Is it too plain? Is it too busy? I mean, these are things that I go through over and over again. And then we got the whole script, like what am I going to actually say in the video? So these are things that come up in my head and then I think I'm not doing video. So I would like to do more video in 2016. At the time I'm recording this, we're getting into the final quarter of 2015 and I really want to make it a goal next year to do more video. I know it could dramatically increase my impact in my business. James says that it has changed his life. Learning how to do video, how to connect with people on video, and then he makes videos to teach people how to do video. All of that has changed his life, and he really, truly loves what he does, and it comes out in this interview. So I also want to tell you that I kind of think he's one of the funniest guys I know. Do not tell my husband this, because Hobie, my husband, is a really, really funny guy. Like, my favorite thing about him is he makes me laugh every single day. But James might be a little bit funnier than Hobie. Don't even say a word. Hobie does not listen to my podcast. He'll never know I said it, but it's true because this guy is just always making me laugh every time I'm with him. And that's a great friend, right? When you're around someone that just, you can't even help but laugh at him. I want you all to check out his Instagram channel. He does these funny little 15-second videos on Instagram that are hilarious. So you got to check that out. I'm going to link to a lot of things all about James and what he teaches in the show notes. As you can tell, I'm a big fan. But today we are going to be talking about the 5 video marketing mistakes most of us make with our videos. And he's going to talk about 5 videos every business should actually be creating. So we're going to get into some really good stuff today, some specifics, talking about technology and lighting and framing and all that good stuff. Before we get there, though, a quick word from our sponsor. Before we dive in, I want to thank our sponsor today, 99 Designs. Now, I'm such a huge fan of this company because they can take care of all your graphic needs. We're talking logos, social media cover images, website graphics, and so much more. So visit 99designs.com/Amy and get a $99 upgrade for free. Okay, so let's jump back to our podcast. Okay, we're going to jump into our interview with James, but as you know, with each of my episodes, I always have a freebie for you. And today's freebie is extra special because James created it for us. You can check it out at amyporterfield.com/James. He created a free 3-part video series all about the videos that you must include in your business. Now, we're going to talk about those videos today, but he gets more in depth, more specific, and shows you examples and tells you what to include in this video series. So amyporterfield.com/James. But now I won't make you wait any longer. Let's do this. James Wedmore, thanks so much for being with me here today.
I'm so excited for being here. Thank you for squeezing me in, and thank you for having me on a second time.
I know, this is your big comeback, and what you didn't hear me say in the intro because you weren't there is that I kind of think you might be funnier than my husband. How do you feel about that?
Okay, now it's like public information. This is awful.
I know, he told me not to tell anyone I ever said that.
Delete this part. We'll get rid of this piece, right?
No, we won't. So you better bring it on this podcast because we are ready for some good stuff. We're going to jump right into it. The 5 biggest video marketing mistakes. What are they, and what do we do about them?
Well, yeah, we're gonna go right into those, but let's actually take a look at what happens when you make those mistakes. So let me ask you this: have you ever made a bad video?
A million.
Yeah. So what would be like? I'm putting you on the spot. Isn't it great? You're all excited to interview me, and
he does this every time. You did this last show.
I know. I have like 10 questions for you. So if you filmed a video yourself and you just didn't like how it looked, like what are some of the worries and concerns you have? Because you have this huge, massive audience. You got your podcast followers. You've got your fans on Facebook. You got your email list. What are some of the fears, thoughts, hesitations that go through your mind when you're like, people could see this?
Yes, this is a great question for me because I don't particularly love making videos, and I don't make them a lot because when I do them on my own, they're a mess. So the camera's always shaky, somewhat out of focus, or it takes me forever to set up the tripod in a way that's actually working for me. I don't know what my problem is with that. Audio, I'm always worried about what mic should I use, or can they hear me? Do I even need a mic if I'm doing it with my iPhone and all that? So I have tons of tech questions that come up.
Yeah.
And then I also am not exactly sure what to always say in those videos. Am I getting the right message across? Am I setting it up right? Am I ending it right? Like there's a million things that I think about when I make a video. And then because of that, because I don't know all the answers, I tend not to make the videos, and I'll call over like a good friend that does video once in a while to do videos. But that means I don't do that many.
But what are you worried about will happen?
Looking like an idiot?
Looking like an idiot in front of your audience.
Yes.
And if you look like an idiot, what would happen then?
Then people will think I don't really know what I'm talking about.
People will think you don't know what you're talking about. Absolutely. And then, then we can draw all kinds of conclusions from there. Like, well, if I'm an idiot and I don't know what I'm talking about, then they don't trust me. They don't buy from me. I go out of business. I got to go get a job.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
wow, we
cow,
went there really fast.
It's no wonder so many people don't do video because there's so much at stake.
Yes.
There's so much at risk. So I'm not sitting here. I'm not going to be the rose-colored glasses person and be like, what are you talking about? Like, no, it's super easy. It's like, no, like there is a lot at stake. And especially for someone with as big of a brand and presence as Amy Porterfield, like you would have a lot to lose if you just all of a sudden started making these like, janky flip cam, if you remember the flip cam videos today in 2015 and beyond, right? So I get it. And I really do want to acknowledge that and be like, those concerns are legit and real. It's a huge reflection of your brand. I guess what I would say is that we can let this continue to be a problem for people, and you could let this continue to be the reason that it stops you, or you can realize, wait, and this is where my mind went years ago, wait a second. 95% of people, this is where they get stopped. So they won't make a video. And you go, this is your opportunity to separate yourself from the crowd, from the noise. And because so few people actually are willing to do video and do it right and do it consistently and long term, this is the magic thing that does separate you. Like, you're lucky because you've been doing a podcast for a long time and you already have this massive following, but everyone's jumped on like doing the podcast, which I'm not knocking it. We have a podcast coming out too. But think about how much harder it is now to market your podcast and promote it and build an audience when everyone has a podcast.
Right.
And so I do want to let people know that that at least for myself and a lot of my students, that video has become the thing because so few people are willing to do it. And then most of the people that do it wrong, that it is a thing that can separate you and actually do the opposite of what we're afraid of. So Amy's fear was that people are going to think I'm not legit or not professional, not knowing what I'm doing. And it's so the opposite when you do it right. It builds such a level of connection, authenticity, and authority when it's done right, that you get more people to buy from you. And I mean, I live in a town of 24,000 people. That's a small town.
Yeah.
And I get on average 1 to 2 people a week that I have no idea, complete strangers that come up to me and they're like, you're the video guy, James, oh my gosh. Like there's a story of me getting my hair cut and my barber is introducing me to another guy.
Yeah.
Who's the next guy, right? And he goes, this is amazing. He goes, he's trying to introduce me like, you're, what are you, James? You're like a videographer. And I was like, sure, that works. And the guy goes, no way. I'm learning how to make videos myself right now to promote my music business. And I'm like, how are you learning? He goes, well, on YouTube, there's a ton of free tutorials. And he goes, I got one on my phone. He pulls it up and it's a video of me.
No, it's not.
This is a real story. This totally happened.
Did you say like, dude, that's me?
I did. I said, well, that's me. And, my office is right next to where I get my haircut. So he's like, spends the next 30 minutes in my office in the studio. And he's like, no way. I can't believe this. This is unreal.
So now, cool.
He pops in every once in a while, which like maybe that was a bad thing because he knows where I work.
Maybe so.
But like that's the power of video. Like the moment he was like, oh my gosh, that's you. Like if you've ever seen a celebrity walking down the street or at the airport or something like that, you go nuts. Like we all do. And video can do that. However, there are some mistakes that we make, some that Amy has pointed out that have been worried that she might be making these mistakes. The scary thing is that when you make these mistakes and you don't even know you're making them.
That's the worst.
Right? Like total blind spot. You have no idea you've got like food in your teeth kind of video, right? So I want to point some of these things out. Just like a really good friend of yours, if you're at lunch, goes like, Amy, you've got some food in your teeth. I want to do that for you guys, which is a little awkward, but it will save you in the long run.
Do it.
First of 5 mistakes is what we've just boiled down to: shoddy camera work. Okay? Things, and I'm going to go over these kind of fast, but this is a pretty big one. First of all, there's the black bars that you see.
Oh,
people,
yeah.
Right. With, now with Periscope, like that's a very common thing, and people, I don't know what it is, but people hate that black abyss of darkness next to your video. And one reason is because you're filming with your camera, your iPhone. If you're filming with a mobile device, you're filming the wrong way. You're supposed to
you just got to flip the camera to the side?
Yeah, you got to do the landscape. And
gotcha.
like, I know it's so easy, especially because, Periscope is like, makes that more easier to want to do it, the tower up and down video. But yeah, it's a landscape, right?
Okay.
That's an easy fix though. But there's things like shaky camera, right?
Oh yeah.
And so, we haven't really talked about this on today's episode, but I'm a big fan of using your mobile device. The iPhone 6S is like coming out like right now, and I'm sure the camera's even better. But I've been using my iPhone for a lot of our videos since way back in the day of the iPhone 5. Okay, so 5, the 5S, the 6, the 6S, the camera's really good. But you gotta sturdy it up with a tripod. So you can buy an iPhone tripod adapter and a tripod for like $50 or less. And when you have a stable, static shot, it's just that's like normal. Like go watch TV and movies. The camera's not shaking like you're in the middle of an earthquake. Very basic stuff, right? Just get a tripod. Okay, simple. Okay, the next thing, which is, and it's so hard to explain this on, which is why we make video about how to make video, because it's a very easy medium, but is how people frame their shots. Like you are so if you film a video and it's a talking head of the Amy Porterfield, where do you think our eyes should go in the video? Like, what should I be looking at when I'm watching a video of you?
My eyes?
Your eyes. So that's the focal point. And people will put, will frame, or you'll frame yourself in like the most random location. So we want to follow the rule of thirds. So people usually try and put it like smack dab in the dead center of the video. And that's not right. You actually want to be higher. You want to be in that top third. Okay, and if you go open up a magazine today. This is a fun thing I did in a copywriting class I did in college. Go open up any magazine today and look at any advertisement, and your eye is always drawn to that top middle third. That's where the headline is. That's where the logo is. That's where the model's faces, and it's you'll never see someone's face as like the focal point down in the bottom left-hand corner. It's always the top, middle, third. So just remember that and use that for your videos. Does that make that make sense so far?
It does, definitely.
These are like really easy fixes, and these are things that, you know, most people listening have probably done one of these wrong. There's one more, which is focus. That's huge. With your iPhone, it's literally like touching your finger to the screen and it auto focuses. So just make sure to do that. But I've definitely filmed videos where like my background was in focus and I was this blurry mess. Like I looked like you were looking at me without glasses on.
Okay, and why was that exactly? Why was your background in focus and you weren't?
Oh, so we were using a DSLR camera, which, I mean, I'm a big fan of using DSLRs, but they're more expensive and they have a steeper learning curve.
Okay.
And so if you're not careful and you have a really nice lens, like any little tweak of the focus wheel and you know, you can be out of focus so fast. Okay. It's crazy. And and it's sometimes if you're not paying attention and you have like a small viewfinder, you don't really notice, you know, and the person who's filming for you, like your spouse or you know, like little Billy down the street, as I like to say, that smart 11-year-old kid that's got like every man. Yes. So those are all encompassed under this first big mistake, is like how you're doing your camera work. Don't be shaky. Make sure it's landscape view. Make sure you're in focus. Make sure your face or focal point is in that top upper third of the video, not dead center, not in the lower right hand corner or anything like that. So that's mistake number one. Any questions with that one?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. So the next thing, and I think this is really important, especially because, you know, people do think, a lot of people come to me and they're like, James, I want to get a more expensive camera. Why? So I can up the quality of my videos.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, of course. That's what we all want to do. And then they run into a whole world of problems. And I'm not here trying to teach, you know, I went to film school, so I'm not trying to teach everything I learned in 4 years of a very expensive film school to a business owner. Like, Amy, if you and I spent a day together, the last thing I'd want to do is talk to you about frame rates and sensor size and all that nerdy stuff, right?
Right. You'll lose me instantly.
Yeah, I think I have a couple times in the past. So, but we can improve the quality of whatever camera we're using when we improve our lighting. Because most lower quality cameras, like an iPhone is not the greatest, but it's really good at this point. And these other cheaper and expensive cameras, one of the things that they're just poor at is filming in low light situations, which means just put more light on you and whatever your subject is.
Okay,
right?
but that's easier said than done. Like, you should see me with sometimes like getting lamps and taking the lampshades off and trying to put them closer to me and all that. Can you talk about some easy lighting things?
Yeah. So that's the funny thing. And some people suggest that, like, DIY lighting, just take your lamp from your bedroom nightstand.
Nightmare.
No, what are you doing? Go to Amazon, and we have, you know, buyer's guides and resources and stuff.
I'll link to that in the show notes.
Perfect. But you can get mobile video lighting, 3-point lighting stands. It's all depending on, you know, what type of filming space you have. So everyone's got to get their own thing, right? But actual video lighting equipment for very inexpensive prices. Okay. And just to think that the most expensive thing that we recommend is a 3-point lighting kit that I bought in 2010 for $220. I still use it today in 2015 with the same bulbs. I've never had a bulb die.
What?
And I've used it in hundreds and hundreds of videos. It's probably like, do you have those investments where it's like, that was the best?
Yeah, my Yeti mic. I use that Yeti mic since 2010.
I love the Yeti. Yeah. So any lighting, like we recommend things like ring lights, where it's like a complete circle of a fluorescent light. So easy to use. You can get like portable LED lights. We don't want to nerd out too much on the podcast, but for really inexpensive. But just the biggest thing is stop filming without any light, and then stop using like household furniture to film your videos when you can get stuff so cheap on Amazon. It's
Good
ridiculous.
Call. Okay.
So that's the second one, is bad lighting, right? So we have shoddy camera work, which encompasses all that yucky stuff I talked about. And then we've got bad lighting, too much lighting, or too little lighting, right? Just the wrong lighting. And then the third one, which is so important, and that is bad audio.
Ooh.
And I actually think this should have been moved to number one, because if you have all these other things, but you have crystal clear, crisp, loud audio, kind of like what we got right here, it can save a bad video. But if you had the most expensive camera and the most beautiful backdrop and you're all dolled up and look amazing, and like I can barely hear you, I'm not going to watch your video.
It's the worst. Yeah.
Plain and simple. So the big number one rule here is stop using your onboard microphone. Okay, so like if you're filming on your iPhone or your DSLR, you have to have a mic this day in age. You have to have a lapel or lavalier microphone that is like connected to you, your shirt, your blouse, your dress, whatever, so that like the actual audio, the microphone is just 5 inches away from your mouth. Like it's going to pick it up right away. But if I'm just filming you with an iPhone and I'm standing 7 feet away, that's how far the microphone is from you, right? So we have to have a microphone.
Okay, good point.
So you can literally just, we have buyer's guides and all that stuff, but you can go to Amazon if you're using your iPhone and just type in iPhone microphone. I know, it's crazy, like really complicated. iPhone microphone, and you're going to get wired lavalier mics with like a 20-foot cable that you can hide off camera for $19. And we use one called the Movo, M-O-V-O 1. It's literally, I clip it on my shirt collar, and it's got like a 20-foot wire, connects into the iPhone, and we've been making videos all week. I got my whole team in the office where we're making videos and doing some fun stuff right now, and I'm like, oh, we need to make a video. And we just plug it in, and we press record and go. It's like that easy.
Nice,
so,
okay.
That audio, I think, really is the most important thing. And when I hear a video with bad audio, like, it's really echoey or hollow or quiet or way too loud. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that is the most important factor to me. So you just want to be aware of that. Now let's talk about number 4, which is my personal favorite of the mistakes, and that is being boring.
Boring. Okay.
And it's hard because a lot of people do come to me and say, James, I can't do video because I'm not funny. I'm not an extrovert. I'm not loud. I don't talk fast. And I don't know. I guess I understand, but I don't know where like that really became this belief system that you have to be those things in order to do a video. Because boring, the opposite of boring doesn't mean funny. And
that's what I always think. And I'm not like naturally funny on my podcast and stuff. So talk to me about that.
Okay, so great. So your podcast, you're not doing like, clowning around and like cracking jokes.
No.
But people listen to every word that you say.
I would like to think so.
We would like to think so. I hear it. I see you on a Periscope. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, I listen to all your podcast episodes. You're not boring. When someone says, I've listened to every podcast episode, you're not boring.
Yeah.
So what do you think it is that you're doing in your podcast that is getting people to listen and come back and listen again?
For me, I try to make it really actionable. Here's what you do. Here's how you do it. Now go do it and test it out and kind of let me know what happens kind of thing. So for me, it's all about that.
And when something is actionable, what is that? That's valuable. That's helpful. That's informative. That's life-changing. And I want to remind people that you don't have to be funny. You don't have to be an extrovert. I'm a big introvert. Amy is also a big introvert. People don't believe that when we say that. They might believe it a little bit more when you say it, but
yeah, when you say it, it seems crazy.
But it's very true. I'm a huge introvert. We could have an entire episode about like how introverts are taking over the planet right now, and all the extroverts want to say they're an introvert. It's very funny.
Yes.
But and I actually never really thought I was very funny. I was never like the class clown. I was the person in high school where it was like, if you were to go, I always say this joke, Amy, I said, if you were to ask anybody from my high school, like, what was James Wedmore like? Everyone's response, hands down, would say, who? And I went to a high school with like 90 kids, like graduating class, right?
James.
I know, like, who? Oh yeah, that guy sat behind me, I think. I don't know. So that was me, right? But I've always someone who loved to laugh and appreciated humor and storytelling. And so I've found people to model and whatnot. But at the end of the day, I've figured out that like this is the type of stuff I'm really passionate about. And passion and enthusiasm is contagious. And when you're talking about what it is that you are enthused about, people just want to take that drug. They want, what is he taking? Let me get some of that. Okay. And Amy's a great example of that. Like, Amy, if you won the lottery right now and made, $100 million, I can bet you would still be doing a podcast.
I'm thinking yes.
Yeah, because this is what fuels us and drives us is learning and teaching. and rinse and repeat. And he's like, learn something new, discover something new, share it with the world, get the feedback from our audience, okay? So being boring has nothing to do with those things. It really has to do with finding the things that fuel you, that you're passionate about, and sharing that, helping others, inspiring others in your unique voice without any fear, trepidation, worry, or concern about what others think or how they'll judge you. So let me ask you another question. When you're in the podcast episode like this, like today, present moment, right now, do you have thoughts in the back of your head like, oh my gosh, what if people don't like my podcast? This is stupid. Why am I doing this? Or are you just like in the flow?
Totally in the flow. Once I get going, I don't think of that stuff anymore.
Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about. Is for me today, I just say, you know, if I can make an impact on one person, if I could share one thing that I've learned in almost 8 years of this online business stuff, then that's all that matters to me. And that's what I focus on versus like, what will they think of me? Or I'm too young looking, or I'm too old looking, or whatever are ridiculous, wherever our mind goes, which it happens to all of us.
Yes.
Which I always looked at that and said, well, everyone else is going to be sitting there worrying about what they look like on camera and they won't end up doing it. So I'm just going to go do it. And that's really what fueled me way back on in the beginning, despite being an introvert, quiet, and very awkward in person.
Okay. I love that though. I love that that's what you were thinking. Like, I'm just going to do it anyway.
Yeah. Well, I still do. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing, Amy, is like true or false. It's gotten harder. It can get harder for us today to put something new out there than it was 5 years ago.
How
right?
so?
Well, you've got more to lose.
Oh, yes. Yes, I'm with you there. Yeah.
Like if you did a Periscope 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and you had 5 people on or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Versus today, where like you've got an entire audience, massive amount of people. Like there is like you have more skin in the game, and there's more to lose. So people, a lot of my audience, like when I share like my vulnerabilities and like really what goes through my head on a daily basis of like insecurities, they're like, oh, I just thought you had it all figured out and you're this like perfect enlightened being that doesn't have any fears, worries, concerns, etc. It's like, no, I just see that they're there. I acknowledge them and I do it anyways.
I love that.
I kind of just say, screw it. But
yeah, I was hoping you weren't just going to say the F word. This is
well,
a family show.
This is a family show. Hey, Mom. Anyways, let's talk about the 5th mistake. Let's recap really quick. Shoddy is our word here because I work with a UK videographer, and so he keeps saying, oh, that's shoddy work. And so shoddy camera work, bad lighting, bad audio, being boring, have some energy. Just like Amy and I are coming on the show, we're excited to talk about this. So I kind of like build up that energy. And then the last one is just not doing video at all. It's the biggest mistake.
This is my thing. Like I don't do a lot of video. So talk about this one.
Well, here's the thing: is you might not do a lot of video, but I'm never saying that it's he or she who hath the most video wins. Right?
Okay.
Like you don't need to do a lot of video, but I know you do video, right? So what are some of the videos, like give me an example of it. What are some videos that you've done in 2015?
So I've done some videos. I usually do videos around promos. So before I come out with a big promo, I'll do a video about webinars or a video about list building or something like that. And now I've been doing a lot more Periscope as well, which I say that's video, right?
It is, absolutely is. I mean, it's a whole new medium in and of itself, but it's still, I feel like, really falls under the umbrella of video because it's live video, live mobile video, which is great. But you've done sales videos, have you not?
Yes, I've done sales videos.
Yeah. So if you were to sell a new product, like how to be awesome and amazing, and you wrote this, sales copy and a beautiful sales page, would you do that without a sales video? Or do you feel like, no, we have to have a sales video on there?
I don't.
And I'm not trying to bait you. I want you.
No, I just put out a sales page without a video.
Oh, great.
So should we edit this part out?
Just put a video down at the bottom. No, and that's fine. I have a rule for myself. It's like we will never have an offer or a sales page or anything without a video.
How come? Talk to me about that.
I think for me, like, I would say I do my own copywriting. I get coaching and advice and people that I can toss it to, but I like to do all my own copywriting because I really want to be my own voice. But I say I'm an average copywriter. Nothing great, nothing special or fancy. That's just not my strength.
Okay.
However, I know personally that when I can combine average copy, which is one modality. I mean, it's just reading, right? Your audience member is just reading the words. But when I can combine that with music and visual, I've just injected my words with emotion and feeling. And that can, in my opinion, takes average copy into an entirely new realm.
I think that is a great perspective. I'm glad I asked you why, because so many people listening now, they don't feel like they're amazing copywriters, and nor do I. And so to think, okay, if I could then add a video to that sales page to kind of counteract that and get more personal and connect at a different level and invite people in, and that will increase my sales, then of course you want to do a sales video.
Absolutely. And here's a great example. Right before we got on this call, like I said, I got my team here. We're making a bunch of videos as we speak. And one of the videos we made, oh my gosh, you're going to love this, is, okay, let me ask you this question. When people register for one of your webinars, do you have a video on the thank you page?
I used to, and I don't know how I got away from that, but I don't anymore.
I know. And this is so great because, like, you know, I don't want Amy just sitting here and being like, yes, video's awesome. Like, she's sharing real and authentically. Like, she's had hurdles with videos and she tries to avoid it and just pretend it's not there, right? You know? it's like that awkward family member that you just like pretend you're not related to.
Or that friend that I pretend like James Wedmore. No, just joking.
It's that friend that you feel like, I have to do a podcast. Thanks. This got real. So we just created a new webinar thank you video. So what would you say if I came in and I said, Amy, I want to do a thank you video on the thank you page of your next webinar. So one of the things is, to go off a little on tangent, is that we say every video should have an intention for your business. So what do you think the intention of this video would be if we were going to make a webinar thank you page video?
For me, it would be to encourage them to show up live. That would be my intention. Because
if you got 10,000 people registered for your next webinar and no one showed up, what's the point of all those registrants, right? So the video does that, right? And so what I did is I sat down and I wrote a little script and I just recorded it into the same microphone that I'm using right now. And then I have a video guy that I found in the Philippines. He's very inexpensive. And I just said, just add some text as I say the words. And what it does is to just enhance the experience and really get people to get what I want them to get.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable. Like when I sit there and say something like, you know, all it takes is getting started with one video. And then he just on the screen says, it just takes one video.
Ooh, I like that.
You know, and you're just like, oh, I get it. And you're just like, you keep watching, you're captivated. And like I showed my whole team this morning right before we got on this podcast. And they were just like, this is amazing. This is incredible. And I was like, yeah, and I didn't even do this. Like I just wrote a quick outline, talked into a podcast microphone, and had someone else do it. I'm not on camera.
Oh, you're not on camera. That's big for people to hear because a lot of us don't even want to get on camera. So,
exactly.
Ooh, I like it.
That's a silly objection too that people have, is saying, I can't do video because I don't want to be on camera. I've done thousands of videos, and I'd say 75% of them I'm not on camera.
Wow, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
That actually leads us well into our next thing, where I know we don't have a lot of time, but I want you to talk about the videos that you think people should actually have in their business. You have a set of videos that you think everybody should be making.
Yeah. So like I told you, it's not about who has the most videos wins. I think that's ridiculous. Like people just say, just make a bunch of videos and like as many as you can. Like there's no strategy. That's just a fire hose effect. But what if there were just 5 types of videos that once you got them done, you could be like, okay, they're done. I don't ever have to do them again. Or at least I could do them in like 2 or 3 years from now. I could redo them or something like that. So I want to share those 5 videos with you right now.
Do it.
And this is what we teach and show people how to make. So the first one is what I call the visual story selling video. So what exactly is the visual story selling video? I really like that phrase because my first class at film school was called visual storytelling. And we are, in essence, as a personal brand, like we are visual storytellers with our videos, but we're also selling ourselves, our brand, our business, our products, our services, our software. So it's visual story selling. So what is that? Well, one of my favorite TED Talks, and I know you've seen this, is, and I hope I pronounce his name right. I always worry I get it wrong, but Simon Sinek's TED Talk, where he talks and he repeats the phrase over and over again. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And he gives great examples, like Apple, right?
Yeah.
And no matter what level you're at, this rule applies to all of us, even if you started business last week. And so this is the video that extracts your vision and your why for what got you to be in business in the first place. Because it's so true. People don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it. Because, and the thing is like a lot of people, they buy, to solve a problem. And it's like, absolutely. But you're not the only person solving the problem.
Right.
You're not the only Instagram expert. You're not the only dating relationship coach out there. You have to sell them on you first. And that's what the visual story selling video is, which is really cool. And I think it's important. It's one of the first exposures people should have. So if I hear Amy Porterfield speak for the first time in a car, I'm like, who is she? And I Google her. Like, that's the video I should find when I go to her website.
Yes.
Because that's like your Amy's Army recruitment video. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, that's what's going to make me a loyal soldier to Amy Porterfield. And not that you're building an army or anything. But use a little masculine.
Yeah, that is a little bit.
Okay, that's visual story selling video. The second one, okay, now this isn't fair because this is kind of army related, but it's the call to arms list building video. So, when we look at everything we're supposed to do in our businesses, from like driving traffic to building your list and making sales and conversions, what I say is that video just enhances the performance of what you're already doing. So we all need to be building a list. This is something you talk relentlessly about. And I just say, well, why not use video to do it? So a call to arms list building video is simply a video you could put on an opt-in page, webinar registration page, squeeze page, etc. And it just tells people what you've got and how to get it for free. Like a video saying, hey, I'm Amy Porterfield, and I've put together a free training on how to be awesome and amazing. Submit your email in the right, to get instant access is essentially a call to arms list building. And we show simple, proven scripts that convert on what to say and how to say it, so that you could take a squeeze page, a list building page, of sorts, and increase or improve or enhance that performance. So that's a call to arms list building video. Third one is the irresistible free offer video. Okay, now I love this because first and foremost, this is the type of video that you share when you don't want to be on camera. But these are your content videos. So for example, like you've taught this before, right? Like to build your list to your audience.
Right.
And you talk about like free, do you have a special term that you call like free gifts or free giveaway or anything like that?
Yeah, free giveaway.
Free giveaway. Okay, so have you ever told people like your free giveaway could be a video?
Yes, and I think that's actually a great idea.
Yeah, I do too, because there's two reasons. First of all, I think it's easier to create a video today because it can be like a PowerPoint video, it can be a screen flow, screen capture type video. That's easier and quicker today for myself, and a lot of my students agree with this, than writing like a 30-page report, formatting it, making sure the grammar and spelling is perfect, adding images and all that type of stuff, right?
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Okay, so that's what this video is. So anybody who does like a 5-part video series, a free video, 3-part video series, that's what this is. And we show people how to do that, whether it's, like just a screen capture video, which is really nice. But here's the other part, why this is so great, is when you're teaching your information in this video. So let's say I've opted in for Amy's free gift video, and she shares 15 minutes, 10 minutes of really cool content. You can make an offer in that video.
Oh.
You can go from like, hey guys, here's this, thanks for opting in. Here's this, as promised, here's your really cool tip I want to share with you. And you could be talking for 5 to 10 minutes. And then at the end of it, you're like, if you want more tips like this, I've put together a program that shows you how to do it. Click the link below to learn more.
Oh, that's
right?
awesome.
You can use video so much more effectively to take people to that next step. Okay.
Yeah.
And that would bring us to our last video, which we'll get to in a minute. But there's one before that called the traffic getting videos. So I like to say that every business needs a little TLC, traffic, leads, and conversions, right? A little
Bring
TLC.
it on.
Not tender loving care, although we need that sometimes.
We do.
We do. I love it. I feel like a talk show host, and you're like the sidekick right now, just like agreeing with everything. We do. Yes, TLC. Okay, so the traffic getting video used to just be a YouTube video. So the reason I use, I have like 300 to 400 videos on YouTube, but I've literally made hundreds and hundreds of more other, like probably thousands of other videos that are not on YouTube. YouTube is a traffic source for me. It's my #1 free traffic source. So it's how new people find me, because they do search terms for like how to make a video, and they find my YouTube videos inside of Google. So YouTube is a traffic search, a traffic source for me. So a traffic getting video is a video that's going to help get new people to find you. And we use YouTube primarily. And this is so exciting. And it's my pitch live on the air with Amy to convince her to get me on an even a third episode with her, is that we need to do an entire episode about Facebook video, because 2015 has made a major shift in the direction of what Facebook is doing with video and video advertising. And it has now become a massive opportunity for us to get exposure to a whole new people in a whole new way using Facebook video.
I love that. That's a great podcast.
We're really excited about that. And one of the things I'm going to recommend at the end is what we're doing right now is just a lot of Facebook video. And it's very different than YouTube video. And so we've done some very cool things there on my fan page and stuff, like little 1-minute videos and stuff, basically like commercials and advertisements like you'd see when you're watching your favorite TV show, assuming you didn't TiVo it.
I want to know about that. Okay,
so recapping really quick, and then we got one more: visual story selling video, call to arms list building video, your irresistible free offer video, and then we just discussed the traffic getting videos, which could be both YouTube and Facebook. And the final one, this is our favorite, obviously, right? This is your customer attracting sales video.
Okay.
So I know Amy has done sales videos before. I've seen them, even though in our last one she did not use a sales video. That's okay. That's okay. But I am going to recommend it for the reasons we've already talked about. But that's what this video is. And I think this is the video that can be one of the most important ones. And it's also one of the scariest ones, because people are like, what do I say in a sales video? And these are ones that we follow a template. We follow a very simple script. It takes people through a sequence. And I always use like the dating analogy. Like a guy wouldn't go to a bar, walk up to a girl and say like, do you want to marry me? I don't know you, but let's get married. That's not as effective as like, let's maybe just buy her a drink first, buddy.
Yes.
And that's really what a lot of this process is the selling is asking for the marriage proposal. It's asking like, do you want to spend the rest of your life with me? That's a big question to ask, to say, hey, will you take out your credit card and give me some money?
Right.
That's a big question to ask. So these other 4 videos are actually there with the intention of selling you, so that they are sold on you before they ever open up their wallets and get sold on your products.
Okay, I see. So these 4 videos are actually leading up to you getting a really good bang for your buck on that 5th video, the selling video.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I want to encourage people to like observe and notice times in your own life or business where you've stumbled upon someone and it took a little bit of time. Maybe you are on their email list for a while. You listened to, whether it was their podcast or a YouTube video or an article or something, and then maybe then you opted in for this, and then you watched a free video series, and then there was a sales. There's a sequence, and this is very intentional. Versus one of the big mistakes that we just see people make all the time, which is just like, hi, you don't know me, but I'm selling you something. Here it is.
Right. Exactly.
Like, how's that working for you? So there's a lot more intention. I'm not the guy that's going to say, go make 100 videos. I'm going to say, well, what if we were just very intentional with a very small handful of videos? And being the introverts that we are, I look at my videos as my friends. These are my, they're really
creepy.
This got really weird. Hello, video. These are my employees, right? Every video I make is like a little worker that works for me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. These are the videos that are spreading my name and promoting me. These are the videos that are selling for me. These are the videos that are teaching for me. I mean, this is why people want to create courses. There's so many people right now talking about like, I want to create my own course. I want to share my information. And one of the reasons why is because there is a call for a lot of people right now to make an impact and help people and say, I've learned so much, I want to share that with you. But you really can't do that if you're walking to every person individually and saying, hey, let me tell you everything I know. Okay, great. Let me go to the next person and tell you everything I know. But something like a video can do that for you, and it can be scalable on a global, nay, universal basis.
Wow, that was dramatic.
This plane,
I love this.
Out of this world.
So what I'm thinking, because, I'm always thinking, okay, well, how do we make this actionable? I want to know, and I know we don't have time for this, but I want to know, what goes into each of these 5 videos and what they should look like and what they're all about. And the coolest thing is you have a video about that. Imagine that.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Super weird.
When I first got started in my business, I had this little quote that sticks with me today that says, inspire others through my actions. And so I never want to teach, share, or do whatever with my audience unless I am doing it. And I really first want to be the shining example. So yes, we use video to show people how effective video can be. So yes, we do have a free video series that's out for a limited time right now, which is it's basically the irresistible free offer video. It's a series of 3 videos. It's going to teach everything I can to you guys about video marketing. So the first video is we go into full detail about those 5 videos that I mentioned, from the visual storytelling all the way to the customer attracting sales video and the 3 in between there. Then in video 2, the really cool thing I do is I take you behind the scenes and show you how we made video 1, right?
Oh,
like
cool.
what went into making a video. Like it's like we break down the set, we show you
Technology.
to all that stuff. We start with an idea that we had and how that idea became an outline to a script to being filmed with the right camera, lighting, microphone, set, all of that stuff, how it got edited, all of that. And then in video 3, for our more advanced folks, okay, this is the next level, we start talking about what I call like what's the beneath the iceberg stuff, the under the surface of the iceberg, right? Like 90% of an iceberg is underwater, the stuff that's unseen. And that is, what do you really say in your videos? And how do you say it in a way that captivates your audience? Most of the work of most of what is in a movie, like your favorite movie, is in the script.
Right.
It's in a good script. People sell scripts, not like shots or angles. They sell scripts. And that's where it starts. And it's the same with your videos, what you say and how intentional you are with saying it. And most people just have no idea. And it's a blend of storytelling and copywriting. And that's something that we've been able to master and teach. And I want to be able to share that with you guys.
And it's totally free.
It's totally free, yes. And we have a special link for you.
amyporterfield.com/James. So amyporterfield.com/James. You can get all 3 videos. And here's the thing. So many people do video series and they'll give you 3-part video series for free and teach you something. But I think the coolest thing about James doing it is that he's teaching through video about how to do video, takes you behind the scenes. Plus you get his amazing humor, which kind of makes it all the more fun.
Yes.
But it's so valuable that I feel like everybody who has a business online today needs to know this information. So I wanted to give you a taste of it here on the podcast, make it actionable, make it really interesting and valuable. But at the same time, it's so much more valuable when you see it in action. And that's why I wanted to tell people about your free video series that's only up for a limited time. So if you're listening now, go jump on that right away.
Yeah, it is. And I really appreciate that, Amy. So thank you for having me on. How did I do?
You did okay. I'm just joking. You did an amazing job, as I knew you would. And it's always fun to talk to you, James. You just always put those that you serve in front of everything else. And it's always very obvious in doing so. So thank you so much for pouring your heart into this, really paying attention to what people needed and wanted. And I think it's going to be a huge hit. So thanks again.
Thank you, Amy. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Take care. So there you have it. Did you enjoy that interview as much as I did? I just absolutely love James. And let me tell you, the guy knows what he's talking about. I want you to get access to those 3 free videos. I've already watched them. I absolutely love them. And I learned something new in every single video. And since I'm on this mission to start doing more video, I really started to take notes and think, okay, I could do that. I could do that. I love when he explains exactly what goes into those 5 videos. And so I know he kind of touched on it here, but he gets into specifics, what goes into the videos, how to do them, and what message you should be relaying with each video. So he gets into all of it. Make sure to check out the videos, amyporterfield.com/James. And finally, I want to thank our sponsor, 99 Designs. Now, when you market online, it's really difficult to stand out from all of that online noise clutter. So how do you do it? Well, I think you do it through impeccable branding. And that includes your logo, your social media cover images, your website, and everything in between. At 99 Designs, you can get anything designed in just a week for a startup-friendly price. So to give you a little something extra, when you go to 99designs.com/Amy, you'll get a $99 upgrade for free. That upgrade makes your design contest stand out from all the others and bumps you to the top of the list so more designers can see your contest. So make sure to check out 99designs.com/Amy. Thank you so very much for being here with me today. I love connecting with you in this way, and I can't wait to see you again next week. Until then, good luck in all you do, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.
Thanks for listening to the Online Marketing Made Easy podcast at www.amyporterfield.com.